Thank you so much, Christina. I'm about to ask Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee about that very sacred spot right now. So what time did you have to get here today to secure a spot in the aisle to see the president's speech?
Early, and I've got a lot of followers. There are a lot of people joining us, and so there was a whole collection of individuals, members of Congress, who understand how important it is, one, to ensure your constituents know that you're working, and two, there's a lot of work done along those aisles, talking to senators, talking to cabinet officers. There's a lot of work done. So we enjoy it. And we also think it's the House of Representatives, it's wonderful to have a welcoming spirit when people come into our house, the people's house.
This is not your first State of the Union. This is your 21st, you said?
It is that.
Yes. And is there one out of the 20 that really sticks out in your mind as particularly memorable?
Well, I think every time there was a time when we were in the midst of the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, certainly those were potent times when presidents were trying to explain. In this instance, it was President Bush. Certainly, there were moments of this presidency that were very moving. The first one, of course, the first African-American president, when all eyes were on his leadership, there was a great sense of excitement, and there still is. And then why not say this one? I thought this was a great State of the Union, and the reason why I thought it was so good and so potent is because the president didn't show any signs of giving up or the end of his term or just 2 years more for me to serve. He took the reins and said, I'm going to work on behalf of the American people, and I want an economic upheaval to help working families, from minimum wage to child care to expanded educational opportunities. And I was excited about that. And I thought that it was lively, and it was demanding and commanding. And it showed the president's commitment and investment in this country.
Did you disagree with anything the president said tonight?
Well, I think there's going to be quite a bit of vigorous debate on fast track. And I hope that members of Congress will have the opportunity to engage. Our concerns, for those of us who are concerned, is where are the jobs? I don't want my constituents to lose more jobs. I've got to be shown that definitively that there will be jobs that will come to the 18th Congressional District in Houston, Texas, just like there will be in America. And then, of course, I think the president is right about coming to the Congress for the authorization to use military force. That needs to be an extended, long debate, but I'm unsure of moving ahead for another war in this country. I think we should collaborate with our allies and approach the fight against terrorism in many ways, including military force in collaboration with our allies, but not a declaration of war. And then we should also look to the diplomatic approach, reaching the hearts and minds of individuals before they can get radicalized.
And looking ahead 21 years from now, back at tonight, right? Is there going to be a specific moment during the president's speech that you'll remember?
Well, I think he had a sense of humor when he said, I'm not running again. There was a little bit of noise in the chamber, and he said, I understand why you're excited because I won both of those races, so I'm a force to deal with. But I also think emotionally, I was glad that he brought up reauthorizing the Voting Rights Act and criminal justice reform. We've experienced a lot of pain for many of the families who've lost their sons. Many of these names we know, Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, Tamir, and others. And he didn't gloss over it. He understood that we have law enforcement officers that are here to protect and serve, and they do that. And he said, why can't we come together and reform the criminal justice system? I like the way he put that forward, so it can be an American effort to make the law enforcement system better for all of us. And then, of course, this is the 50th year of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. Very emotional for many of us. Our districts, many of the districts that gave an opportunity for African Americans to be elected to come to the United States Congress, my predecessor, Barbara Jordan, only could have happened with the passage of the Voting Rights Act. It's a shame that this Congress is blocking it. And I really ask the Speaker in the 50th year of commemorating that day, Bloody Sunday, when so many were brutalized, and the signature of President Johnson on this great bill, why is the Republican Congress blocking putting this bill on the floor and giving an up or down vote to be able to make sure that everyone has a right to vote? This is about voter suppression. This is not about one race, one neighborhood, one party. It's really about voter opportunity and empowerment. I can't imagine why Republicans want to deny people the unfettered right to vote. So it's a challenge, Speaker Boehner. Let's put the Voting Rights Act on the floor of the House, give us a chance to debate it, and let's vote it up or down. I can't imagine, again, that Republicans will want to vote against their own interests, which is the right for people to vote.
Right. And are you optimistic that'll happen?
Well, I'm hoping the challenge will be such that the people will rise up in a nonviolent, petitioning manner and let this House know and let the Senate know that this is what America needs. There are too many people being denied the right to vote, even today in 2015. So my optimism is that this Congress will do the right thing.
All right, one more question for you. It's been reported that your colleague, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, might be interested in being ambassador to Cuba. Would you support that?
I absolutely would. I've gone to Cuba with Congresswoman Lee and in other occasions or other delegations, and I know how hard she has worked and continued to work on Cuba-U.S. relations. I am supportive of the new actions by the President of the United States. I'm excited about it. When I've gone to Cuba, I've interacted not only with President Castro, but I've interacted with the people. And the people love America. There is a great connection between Cubans and the United States. I know that there were some tragic actions of the government in times past that many people can't get over, but I'm hoping that we can find common ground to be able to work through those issues. But this is the right direction. It's exciting. And let me say this, besides releasing Alan Gross, the Cuban government met its request that the president made and released about 50 prisoners, I believe. What more can you say of a country that really wants to begin to have the kind of diplomatic relations that will enhance both nations, Cuba and the United States?
Have you booked your tickets yet? Are you going yet?
I am looking to be on a future CODEL, and I'm hoping to go to the summit that will be held soon in the region, and I think this is going to be just a great start for this country.
Is this a congressional summit that's going to be held soon?
No, it's the Organization of American States, OAS, that summit will be going forward, and Cuba will, I think, be there for the first time.
Wow. Terrific. Well, thank you so much. We very much appreciate you stopping by our live stream, and we hope you'll join us next year after that State of the Union, the President's final one.
Final one. This is great. Thank you so very much.
The pleasure is all ours. Thank you.